Hey YouTube, my name is Misinformation, and today I'm going to be doing a video real quick about a topic that's not readily talked about amongst my peers and within my community. Me being a black woman, me being a single mom. There's not too many of us out there, and the topic that I'm talking about is being a prepper. A prepper. Okay, so some of you may be wondering or wanting to ask, why do I prep? And my answer to that question is, why wouldn't you? In the event that there's some type of natural disaster, whether there's, anything, any type of civil unrest where things go scarce, and when I say things, I'm talking about common everyday things like food, water, are flying off the shelves, and you're stuck in a situation where you have to fend for yourself and protect your family. Will you be ready for that time when it happens? I'm going to say when it happens because it's going to happen. So in my community, I can honestly say that it's we are scarce, and so with that being said, it can be very lonesome. Most of my peers, they can't relate, or they can't fathom something happening so bad where it would result in some of those things that I described. They just don't feel like it can happen, or they feel like the government will step in and will save everybody, that they'll come in with resources and be able to make everything better. And that's a bunch of BS, or as my dad would say, that's a bunch of malarkey. I'm much smarter than that to rely on somebody else's help when I can put myself in a position to be prepared. Okay, so that's pretty much why I prep. If you remember when Hurricane Katrina happened, there were so many people that were displaced, and they had warnings upon warnings, and they just did not take heed. And many of those people died just because they were not prepared. So, when people say that it can't happen, it's like, well, never forget. Like, you can look in the history books. It's happened before. I've heard other people say, oh, it's stupid to prepare. It's stupid to be a prepper. It's a waste of money. You're going to be spending money for no reason. And my response to that is, well, okay. I'd rather have those resources readily available if I were to need them versus not having them and needing it. So, it's just almost like a no-brainer. A lot of people think that in order to be a prepper that you have to spend buku amounts of money in order to do it, when in all actuality that's not true. What I'm learning, and I'm not an expert at this at all. I'm actually fairly new, which is why I'm making this video, because I want to kind of network with other like-minded people to kind of learn things and learn the ropes and kind of figure out what is the best way to go when you're a new prepper. Again, you don't have to spend a whole lot of money. I invested in a Sam's Club membership, and if you have one in your area, I would suggest you do the same thing, because they have food in bulk. Okay, I bought a 50-pound bag of rice for $16, and I would definitely be able to survive and feed my family for quite a while. I brought a 15-pound bag of beans, dry beans. I think that was maybe $10. Don't quote me on pricing. You have to do your own research. And that's what I want to get into next. And forgive me, I keep looking at my phone for reference. So, like I was talking about food is probably where you would want to begin if you're looking into prepping. Food and water, I think those are survival things that you're going to need just in order to live. water is, if water was to go scarce or not be readily available, I mean, people would be dropping like flies. And it's something that we are so, I guess, blessed to have, the fact that we can go to our bathrooms or our kitchen sink and flip a handle and the water comes on. Not everybody has that same luxury. So we have to be and put ourselves in a mindset of, if that were to happen where that luxury is taken away, what will you do? What can you do? And I mean, it's simple. You can prepare. So what I've been doing, whenever I buy, your gallon of water, Crystal Springs, or I like Smart Water because it has like 0 fluoride in it. I just found that out. Whenever you're done with those containers, save them. Don't throw them away. Don't recycle them. Save them and fill them up. Put them somewhere, in a safe, dark place. Put it, in a closet, or if you have a storage area where you can just keep them, just in case. I do that with all my containers, my water bottles. I even invested in 275-gallon containers that I'm storing. I haven't filled them up yet. They are food grade, but I have them ready just in case, and I have 2 of them. Food-wise, again, like I said, Sam's Club, they have a lot of things that you can buy in bulk. So, you want to get non-perishable items, things that you can put on a shelf or have a long shelf life, I should say. Things like rice, beans, noodles, ramen noodles, those are, dry. Tuna fish, or canned chicken. Those are things that have a long shelf life. Again, you can get online and do your own research and find out what would be good items for you to have, because rice and beans aren't going to do it. They're not going to do the trick over a long extended amount of time. You're going to need something with some type of protein, some type of vitamin, something that's going to be able to keep you going. Rice and beans, yes, you'll be full, but you'll probably be just so depleted of nutrients, so I wouldn't recommend just wanting to survive off of that. Another thing that people probably don't think about is like seasonings. If shit hits the fan, and I'm black, so I like my food very seasoned. So you might want to store up some salt and pepper. Any of your favorite seasonings that you like, you can also buy that in bulk as well. Besides that, protection is going to be very important. You're going to want to invest in some type of firearm, given the fact that you live in a state that allows it. I live in Georgia. As soon as I started waking up, I guess, the first thing I did was apply for my concealed weapons permit. That was the first thing I did. $75. Took about a month for it to come in the mail. I am now licensed to carry. You're going to want to do that, especially being a single mom. You're going to want to make sure that if somebody were to want to rob you or want to cause harm because of something that you have and they want it, you got to be able to put yourself in a position where you can protect yourself and your family. That's it. Do I want to shoot somebody? No, but if it came down to it, it's you or me. Like, sorry for you. So, which, again, brings my next point, shelter. Depending on whether you plan on bugging out or bunkering in, where you live can be a huge factor. If you lived in a metro urban city, you might want to have some type of plan B, or some place where you can go that's a little more rural, that's a little away from everything in order to survive. That's just something that you would definitely want to keep in mind in having a plan. And I'm just gonna keep this short. Depending on the response I get from this video, I probably will do more. Again, I'm new to this. I just want to kind of link up or network or with other like-minded people who feel the same way that I do. Kind of get some pointers, ideas. My next thing is going to be purchasing a firearm. I don't know, the ins and outs. I've shot a gun a few times, but no means am I an expert. So that's probably the next thing I'm going to look into. Also, a good first aid kit. You know, we're dealing with the possibility where you won't be able to call 911, or you won't be able to get yourself or a loved one to the hospital if something were to happen, or if they were to become ill or hurt. So these are things that you're going to want to have to think about as well. Is, you know, will you be able to suture a wound? You know, can you suture, can you stitch, or you know, can you keep a wound clean so that it doesn't get infected? You know, these are things that you're going to want to have to think about, and it's scary. It is. It's very scary. It's just the whole fear of the unknown. You know, none of us knows when this will happen, but if you turn on the news and you just see the nature of our economy and just the nature of us as a country and where we're at, it's like, you know, when it does happen, will you be ready? So, and with all that being said, we just have to continue to pray. We have to continue to look to Yahusha and his son Yeshua. Pray for his guidance. Pray for his protection to keep us, watch over us, guide us, let us know the ways to go. And overall, you know, we just got to do our best to survive. So, that's all I got to say. Shalom.